worst Christian ever.
It's so funny. I'm spastic. It's so funny. I'm spastic.
We're back with another episode, entering into the drama again. I was fortunate to not watch this video yet. Apparently, it's called How Rob Reed Conned Oxfordshire Man Good News Gospel, but it stops there. There's a few others. We'll note it later when I live stream it on the fly and comment. All that I've seen, I first found out about it because it was in, is it the Potato Archive now? GY6's new name channel. I saw content from Ryan mentioning me again that I had not seen, so I made the presumption that he probably did another video, and then Sister Cheryl posted a message on me saying the potato strikes again. So we're gonna have some hilarity. I don't know how long I'll be in this chat. I'm gonna go home. It's not gonna be 3 whatever hours. Not gonna happen because I'm going home. It's the end of the work day. I'm done today. It was a good day at the Law Office of Robert Reed. I will say that. And I will say that the Law Office of Robert Reed doesn't sponsor this in any way, shape, or form. How about that? This is separate and apart from the Law Office of Robert Reed. So many things that I first saw, or that I saw in the GY6 video, I'd rather not comment on those particularly. I did prepare a few screenshots of some emails that I'd received from one, I mean, there are a variety of different names, Old Regular Baptist, I don't know, but all purported to be a guy by the name of Ryan, who I commonly call Clint. Now, Ryan, if you're not in the loop, and I've gotten a lot of recent subscribers, and I thank you for joining us. This is a drama-filled thing with names of people, if you're new, that you may not know. And I'd rather you just shut it off. It's going to be silliness. And like, for instance, God is leading me a different way, and I'm real happy for that. I got a message. I was kind of embarrassed by this message, to be honest. So if you're watching right now, I have a sister in Christ who goes to my church, and she saw the short that I did. And I don't know if I can show that right now. Hey, Don. Yeah. Don says, brother, you might need to get yourself a lawyer because some people on your YouTube degrees. Well, so that clues me in, Don. Maybe you saw the video and he's talking about more legal stuff. I do know that the funny thing about, and this was a little bit with my friend Sam, that he kind of turned it around too. And hi to Janet and hi to Bond. Sam kind of did the same thing. Like when he threatened to sue me, and then I said, probably statements to the effect that if you sued me, man, I had a great case against you, if not better. You know, the same silly, ridiculous banter that goes back and forth. The difference between Ryan here, and Sam has some intelligence. I get that's for you, Sam. I noticed that Sam. I disagree often with your exegesis of scripture. I take that sometimes as maybe a failure in the language, but I will say that I don't think that I have seen anyone as ridiculously unintelligent. I don't like to say that. I will say it against somebody who's suffering from the spirit of pride, clearly about their intelligence. And when again, I've said it in the past, when Ryan talks scripture, he seems to be pretty well versed up there, expresses it very well. And all I can interpret from that is that he watches a lot of YouTube videos and he's very good at mimicry, much like a parrot or a magpie, something like that. We'll look into it a little bit later. But I had enough information from him, back to the subject at hand where I was going, where he's turned this into me going out of my way and suing him. I think that I gave an inkling to that at something that he got me in the flesh with maybe a month ago. I don't know. But it's not something that I harp on. The thing that I harp on is the silliness that he came up with about a criminal complaint, which he still talks about. He still talks about felonies and hate crimes. And he has become, as I said, and it's in the subject line, the king of the victim card. And the funny thing is, he hangs around Smokey. He makes fun of people that I've seen in the past with Smokey, about particularly Bruce, brother Bruce, I would call him. Bro, hey, bro. I say it however Smokey Saint will not complain about. Like, if you're not a brother in Christ, I think you are, Bruce. But if you're not, it's the Muslim bro. It's the bro from California. The California version, if that's the correct one. All right, back to the subject hand. Ryan has switched it around where he's acting like I'm actively trying to sue him. And that was never the case. It was always complaints that I was making fun of a guy with disability. And he pulled that with some rando, some atheist, I guess, that's on an app that I never understood, that Smokey is desperate for more. He really got that influx of like 500 new subscribers, has faltered a little bit there, and he's very, very excited about the prospect of more. So he thought, I've said it on my chat before, he hasn't seen it. Do shorts, Smokey, do shorts. Whatever app you're on right now, again, I forget what it was. I got a special invite for it, and I thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. You get 100 people in a room and everyone's talking over each other. It just, I don't know, not for me. So back to Ryan, or let me go back to why I was embarrassed. There was a sister in Christ who said to me, I'm all over the place today, but it's the end of the workday and my brain is like shutting down slowly. Hashtag really dumb attorney. And so a sister in Christ at church, she sends me a message to me about my short. If you haven't seen the short that I did this morning, I hope that it lifted you up. It really, really happened. I did it immediately after it happened. I was at Western Bagel. I was having a bagel and cream cheese right before I was going to head into work. I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna read some devotionals on the Bible app, which you need to get. It's so cool if you don't have it. Whenever you got some idle time, or you want to take some me time, you want to get a bagel at Western Bagel with cream cheese, no locks this time, then sit back, eat your bagel, read some Bible. They have devotionals, so many cool things. So that devotional, I forget what it said, but you can find it in the shorts in the video. It's on my main page, and maybe I'll link to it down below since I mentioned it, but I don't know. And yeah, GY6, I mentioned you already a little bit. The Potato Archives. I've only seen Ryan's version of what he said that you put up. I'm going to watch the entirety of the 134 and comment on it, which, by the way, that goes to I'll wait until, that's one of the things that you put on there, GY, about the, or should I say Brian Moore LLC. that you included the clip related to copyright strike. Oh my goodness. There'll be something to say about that, I imagine, when that happens. I saw that and I went, so we're going to do this fair use style, making sure to comment as I did the last time. You know, you can bypass. Oh no, I'll wait until later. It'll be funny, I think. Hopefully. It'll be so funny that I imagine your response will be like this.
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
All right, back to the subject at hand. The sister from church, why I was embarrassed was she had seen that short, and she says to me, I get this at 3:33 p.m., so less than 2 hours ago. She says, "Hi, Rob. Thank you for the morning message. You're welcome. Today was a rough start, and your blessing set things right." And immediately I'm like, my pastor made a video today too. So maybe she's making a mistake, because there's no way she's like subscribed to my YouTube channel, right? I hope not, because then she'll probably see like this video. And so in the end, the message to me was loud and clear that I did something that was a God moment for me that I wanted to share immediately, because I thought it was so cool. And basically the sum and substance of it literally was, I'm reading this devotion. It says something related to God and about noticing him. And as I'm reading that devotional it was a devotional before reading John 7. The sun came out of the overcast and started to shine on me. And I thought, geez, this is so cool. This is like, it's talking about noticing God, and then a thing in nature that he's created, that's what I would believe as a Christian, obviously, shines on me. And I had a similar moment like that when Marie and I were deciding, when we got the phone call in early January of 2007 that a baby was born, but he wasn't half Asian and half white. He was Guatemalan. And was that are you interested? This is the boy. He's the Christmas special, they call it. And when I pondered it and I prayed on it and I stared outside my office window, it was right in the gloaming, and the sun shined right on me. And it was like the kind of sunshine that didn't burn or like feel uncomfortable. It's like that nice warmth in the gloaming where you just feel like heaven is caressing you, if you know what I'm talking about. And that was kind of the same thing today. So that kind of moment. And the message for me is, thank you, sister, I'm not going to say your name, for the message, because I responded, thanks for the encouragement. I tend to get involved with cesspool drama on YouTube, so your message helps me too. I said, thank you. And she just LOL'd, which means she probably watches this filth. And I'm sorry, sister. I hope that you've turned it off. Yeah, cool. They stay in your memory for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's really moments I've had really when I felt like when the scales came off there was no sun in the church at that time, sitting listening to the pastor. But that's another story. You could see my testimony sometime later. Look at this. This is a hug fest, hugs, and we're getting people coming in and out. I've seen, and it's probably people that maybe subscribe to me from the shorts. And again, I'm sorry. Find me. I'll say something else, or I'll be at some event. Super Bowl, fingers crossed. I'm in the lottery for tickets twice, so hopefully I'll get a good shot at some tickets there, which would be so amazing. And maybe I'll end up going, and I'll send some videos. But this is about a particular sad individual online who likes to attack people, and I'm one of his targets. So in an effort to show people that, like, don't be affected by this stuff, by these people who are doing the work of Satan, really, to bring down people by putting other people down. And what I think why I feel most sorry for this particular individual that I would be talking about today is because he's just a kid, and as such a kid, I think he's kind of lonely, and he doesn't have a lot of father figures in his life. And I was one, as he confessed. And so I'm sad that this is what it's come to, but it has. And it really has, Ryan, because I do these videos, and hopefully you're watching. There's 5 now. I do them in the spirit of love. Not that if you were here, I'd give you a hug kind of love, but in the love that God calls for us in loving our neighbor is to wish the best for you. And I hope to correct you in some way. Really, if at anything, because I know you're not going to take much correction from me, but if really like a prayer that God will lead you, Ryan, forget me. I'm obviously a bad influence for you, anybody else, but away from the ways of Smokey and away from your obvious desire to kiss his butt, to kiss the ring, so that you will get the emotional comfort that you are seeking. Now, you have to think, Ryan, about where you're seeking that emotional comfort, and it's in somebody who is who operates a cesspool of hate. A cesspool of hate that you clearly recognized a year ago, less than a year ago. Emails I got from you complaining about these individuals, March, April of last year. And because you had a falling out with, like a major falling out, I guess, with Bill and crew there, and Bruce in particular, because you were sending not only emails. Eventually, first they were Smokey, but they eventually were about Bill, and then they were about Bruce, because Bruce had said something or did something to you that was not nice, and you were gossiping behind his back in my email, trying to sway me a certain way, and I didn't follow you. I didn't respond to you, actually. I felt that that was what I was led to do, was not to, I'm not going to convince you otherwise. I knew that you were a young man who liked to be involved in the drama in the back and make complaints about people and send emails and try and make people look bad. I knew that that's what you did, but I didn't want to really get involved with that. And then, like I said, in August of last year, you did an attack video to Bruce, and we're kind of bringing everybody up to speed here. Attack against Bruce that, well, I don't know. I don't, most folks that are watching this probably already know what's going on. So it might be best for us to kind of take a look at the video. I don't want to rehash stuff with Bruce, and frankly, I don't. Oh, so here's the whole title, because I moved it up. See what GY says. As much as I would love to blame Ryan's behavior on Smokey, I can't. He has been the same long before. Yeah, no, I know that. But where he is right now is, this is his father figure that he's using, who he's trying to get noticed by. And so my prayer for him is that he'll find someone. I think it could be a pastor. It should be a pastor. That I think that he needs to go to a church, and he needs to find elders who will guide him the right way, certainly not one who's hate-filled. That's the hope. So we can agree to disagree there. And look, I'm not making a hate video about you, GY6, because we disagree. Imagine that. How does that work? I don't know. So the title of the video is, let's see if I can share. If you heard that, that was my stomach, which means, I guess, no, I had carbs for breakfast. I think they're still sticking with me. So let's see what we got here. All right. How Rob Reed. So this is more. Before he did, is that going to show up in here? No, but we'll probably see it in a sec when I go to this page. And it has a solid 39 views, so we're going to give him 40 and maybe some more here, but we'll see. How Rob Reed conned Oxfordshire man, that's Andy, Good News Gospel, and Thick Shades. I conned Thick Shades, Sam. Ooh, Ryan, you're dying for attention, because when you mention Thick Shades, you're actually helping me without having seen your video. You're like, you can't tell somebody like Thick Shades that he's been conned. You can't, because the minute that you try and indicate that anyone took advantage of thick shades, he's immediately going to get on the defensive. So expect the attack video from Sam. This one will hopefully be a little bit gentler. I'm hoping that at some point in time that you will feel like this.
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
Now, when you get spastic, my hope for you is that you'll have oxygen close by, because I don't want you to lose your breath. And hello to St. Tommy. So yeah, we're about to watch Tommy. We're going to live stream. We're going to do some live commentary, which under copyright laws fits nicely and comfortably in something called fair use. Here's what happens when you say Rob Reed conned, and I think one of the things I need to make notes in particular. Do I have a little notepad? I'm going to use the back of an envelope. How's that? And we're going to see, because the last thing was, I don't know if conned was the word that he used, but he used something else. So we'll see, like that I did something else, how Rob Reed did something, and then he never indicated how I did it. So the big question for us all is Ryan going to answer the question of how Rob Reed conned Andy, Bill, and Sam? Hashtag really dumb attorney. It'll be interesting to see. Speaking of really dumb attorneys, if you need an attorney, I primarily do civil litigation, personal injury, but I do music law, business law, starting a new business in California. Hit me up. Law Offices Robert Reed. Here's your commercial. Thank you. All right. How Rob Reed conned Andy, Bill, and Sam. So we're going to put that up before. You're not going to be able to hear it. I'm going to tell you, we're just stare at him, because I don't think that there's a way that I can broadcast at this time. And I forgot I'm using my headphones to hear. And it's already like it appears. Let me see if I think it's all. Bed awake to check up. No idea who you are. Hopefully you can hear me, but welcome. Grace of God. Are you that I'm still alive? Thank God for that. It was a beautiful day today. And hopefully, God willing, I'll have the end of the day at least. Tommy, you got SS influence this morning. That means you went into his chat. Oh my goodness. You know what I feel about that. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to summarize here. Now, to start it out, before we even begin, this I don't understand. Now let's see, there's 16 squares. Is there some kind of message here? This is like in the 40, 50 years ago, there was a shampoo commercial that went like, and some so-and-so told me about using the shampoo, and then I told two friends, and then he told two friends, and then he told two friends, and then it looked like this. Or the Brady Bunch. Maybe it's a Brady Bunch reference. I don't know. Let's see what he says. Wait, let's get back. I missed the first line. It just stopped. Was this a video? Because it starts with, by the way, for Bill. So he edited himself. Unless somebody else can take, there's Bruce here. Sorry, Bruce. How dare me? I mentioned you earlier. Hopefully I didn't offend you. He stands scorned. Dude, you do what you want to do. Mr. Super Hyper Free Grace. You do what you want to do. I don't know. Jesus said, go and sin no more. I don't know. What would Jesus say? Don't listen to what I would say. You could find it in the Word, see what he does. You know. All right. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Fist bump of solidarity, sir, and fidelity. But he starts his video saying, by the way, Bill. So he's clearly chopped it. He didn't like what he said. Maybe he let his disability advocates participate in it. By the way, for Bill, Thick Shades, Rob. Wait, not Rob. Did he say Nut Rob or not Rob? Anyone have a clue? Please let me know who Not Rob or Nut Rob is. I'm going to basically tell you what he's saying, but it's going to come out of my mouth. Bruce, you got played. You got played. Now, here's what happens. When you play somebody, it means that you're taking advantage of them. You're conning them. So at least the word is right in the subject matter. So how did I play? He didn't mention Bruce, so there's the foursome. Andy, Bill, Sam, and Bruce. I conned you all, according to our good friend here. Rob told you, don't worry. You can harass a disabled guy and commit hate crimes against him. It's okay. I'll represent you. I have that stream. So what I said, I think I saw this on, I don't think you put up the whole thing, GY6, did you? What I said is Bruce was having a, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but you were affecting him with your threats, your idle threats. I have never told anybody to keep harassing you, but if somebody wants to make the choice on their own to respond to you and what you've done and what you're doing, particularly like you're making a video right now, making flat out statements, and I'm responding to you, your disability, whether or not you have one, is irrelevant. You don't understand that. And that's where, as I mentioned earlier, you, as the king of the victim card, took someone on that awful app that GY6 had put out there, Clubhouse, that you had attacked somebody who was in one of those Clubhouse rooms, an atheist, I guess, and said, you're basically accused the person, again, of being, I guess, some kind of idiot because he attacked you as a person with a disability. Now, how would that guy know you had a disability? Now, I know you have a disability, allegedly, only because you have said so. No indication you have anything other than a mental disability from what I've seen, but you have flat out said in a prior video to me that you do not have a mental disability. So I will take you on all, I'll take you on at your word on all counts. You have a disability. You've said cerebral palsy. People can look up cerebral palsy. You've probably known somebody with cerebral palsy in your life. There was a character, a real life actress who was on Different Strokes way back in the 80s, I believe, who played one of the sisters, if memory serves. And I think she was the real sister of one of the actresses on that show. And she had cerebral palsy, and she was a comedian. And there's a much bigger difference with her cerebral palsy and how Ryan conveys himself, but I'm making an aside now. So, dude, people can respond to you and have nothing to do with your disability. You don't get a free pass for having a disability and saying that people can't criticize you. Stop being so silly. It's completely silly. And if you can't see it, then I can't help you. Bruce said, I purposely tried not to talk about Ryan, and here goes again threatening and fear-mongering. Well, he's not threatening you. He's trying to help you here, Bruce. So hopefully you feel better if you saw it. He's trying to say that I conned you and that I told you it's okay to keep harassing him and whatever. I will represent you. I can't represent you if he sues you and wherever you are, if it's not in California. I cannot legally do that. I will help anybody, though. as best as I can to look at what somebody's doing, and for instance, in their defense, and I would say, yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's good. But I can't draw legal opinions. On a copyright issue, I can, because it's a federal issue. That's not a problem. But well, let's go back, and I'm going to again say what he said. I think I've hammered that point home, that I don't tell anybody to break the law. You don't break the law. I don't have these private conversations. They're in public. What the discussions that we've had about Ryan, I don't think I've had any private conversations about Ryan. I mean, there might have been some mention once a hangout ended, but it was never like an email or anything like that in recent memory in the last 5 months. Certainly since Ryan made the video attacking me so now I'm conning Bruce, but before I was enabling Bruce and then using him as a spy. Hilarious. So let's keep going. What you have to do is submit a CalBAR complaint saying, hey, this idiot told me it was okay to break the law. Well, right there, you're telling them to commit a misdemeanor. Right here, Brian, flat out, you are telling them to make a false complaint, because I never told them to break the law in any way, shape, or form. Never told Sam, Andy, Bill, or Bruce to break the law. Never told them to go out of their way to use their time to harass you, as you say, which would mean in my world, responding to your idiocy, as we all do on this YouTube thing. We talk about it back and forth. So you're telling them to file a CalBAR complaint based on a falsity. You're making stuff up right here. You think all this has happened in your head. And what happens, I told you, Brian, I think it's 6,000. Oh, Brian, I really said that. Ryan, I think it's 6,043.5 of the California Business and Professions Code that says that if you make a false complaint to the State Bar of California about an attorney, you are committing a misdemeanor. You, sir, are inducing them to commit a crime. And the reality of that should make you...
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
Catch your breath, young man. Catch your breath. Okay. Tommy wants to know where you can get a victim card. I would request that you inquire with Mr. Ryan, the Presbyterian, and ask him where he got his. And hopefully you won't abuse it and it won't get revoked. But I'm telling you, Ryan abuses it to the nth degree like no other. None I've ever seen in my whole life. Can I sue for prayer? I don't know. I have prayed for you, Bruce. Maybe you can call the CalBAR and tell them that I prayed for you. That this idiot, really, hashtag really dumb attorney, prayed for you. Maybe. Let's keep going. I will speak for him. You can't. Please let me know that you can't hear him, because I don't want to repeat if you can, but I don't think you can. I don't think it's in there. He wants views, so he had 39 views on this one. I've given him 40. But you know, you can watch this for commentary. And for Thicky Shades, sorry, he's been harassing you from his law office for over a decade, Sam. What business is it his that you own all these adult domains? Oh my goodness. Is there really a reason to comment on that? Like, Sam, if you're watching, and you might be, did Ryan ever address the domains with you or make any comments or go on one of my chats? I could easily go on one of my chats that are still up there, where I imagine we might have talked about domains, and he was participating willingly. Of course, on the issue of domains, let me see. I don't want to, I'm going to unshare, because I don't want to, as he would say, drop docs. And then we'll go back to the video. but about somebody who is talking about domains. Well, here's one talking about a domain. I did take his contact info out. It's not big enough to see, I don't think. But if I read it to you, he sent this to me on Thursday, October 10th, 2019. Rob, your son turning 13. Ooh, I'm crossing it out. Look at hashtag dumb attorney. I thought that I could highlight it. Rob, your son turning 13 is very touching. It makes me wish I had you as a father at that age. Here's a gift for you, he says. The who is information. Oh, sorry, Sam, I didn't mean to drop your docs there, but it's probably too small to see. Timemachine.us. There's a little plug for you, Sam. You have that domain. And he gifted me with information regarding your domains. And he just talked about, like, who cares about domains? Now, granted, this is not one of those nasty, naughty domains that we've talked about before. But look at the subject line. He wanted to let me know that I could find your address. Now, I don't know. Call me, a lawyer playing one on YouTube, or one who's actually licensed to practice in the state of California. This might be actionable. I don't know. But, certainly it indicates somebody who was concerned about somebody's domains. But let's take it another level, because I think that there was another email that he sent. It's not that one. Let's see. Bear with me here. This is more about you, Sam. But I thought there was one about a domain. Yeah. Let me make sure that I cross out the identifying info. Oops. No, I don't want to edit it. I'd like to draw, please. So I could cross out his email address, because he'll accuse me of doc dropping. He puts your full name on there, Sam. So cross that out. Let's see, what else does he do? I think that covered it. And this one's, who cares about domains, was his comment just now. I don't know. This person named Old Regular Baptist Radio, who sent me an email July 21st, 2019, seems to care about domains. He calls it the new Thicky domain. Rob, greetings to you. Oh, I need to show it to you, don't I? Rob, greetings to you. Evidently old, and then uses Sam's real name, has become filled again with the unholy spirit by aiming gel.im. That's kind of funny, though, if we're telling the truth. At Gman. Interestingly, he has almost entirely hidden the who is information, but is claiming I false flagged him. You have to love it. No? How are you these days? Now, I would argue there, that's kind of like a love bomb. One of the techniques of my friend Ryan, and I like to give him the benefit of the doubt that he just doesn't know better, but he certainly knows some good techniques. If you love bomb somebody, you can get information, you can find solidarity, you can get somebody to support you in your backstabbing, doc dropping, and nosy old ladying into people's domains, and then come out 2 years later. Let's make it 2.5. And what did you say again? Let's go back. We're going to go back to your thing. I'm going to, you said that who cares about domains? Who should care about domains? Right, Ryan? Yeah, you would never do that. Tu quoque. Is that what we're talking about? Tu quoque. All right. I don't want to hear it again. All right, 41, so it's about like 30 probably. 30. Bear with me, people. Law office, over a decade, Sam. What business is it his that you own all these adult domains? It's none of his business, but What you can do is submit a CAL bar complaint that he was harassing you from his office. So yeah, maybe Sam, you can make a CAL bar complaint that I was harassing you from my law office. How was I harassing you? I was making videos about domains. Now, not to get into the truth or veracity of those, it's spilled milk. We'll leave it at that. But it's interesting that this young man comes up here. Now, I'm still trying, if anyone has any idea what, now we have established that he talked beforehand here, right? Because he starts the video with a but, like he had made a sentence before, and I guess he didn't like what he said, or his disability advocate told him not to do it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who this is. Again, better wait the checkup. I made a New Year's resolution to reject any old victim cards that pop up in my head, including complaining about things that trigger me. Grace of God helping me overcome these old habits. Good stuff. Good advice. Now, as I made a reference to my sister from church, very dear sister, was commented nicely on the short that I made that was focusing on God. So this channel will focus on that, and this channel will focus. But occasionally, look, people like this stuff, and the more people that come to this channel and listen to some worship music, maybe they'll be lifted up in other ways and have a little laugh at the same time. Because in truth, everything, Ryan has made it clear that every time I make a video about him, I mean, you can imagine him. It brings him joy. And hopefully it brings you joy. And how do I know it brings Ryan joy?
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
That's how. Okay? Let's take the thing off there. But the point is taken, well, like, less of this and more of cool stuff. And I think maybe we'll just have general chats talking about current events and things. But this is always kind of fun. Had a little bit extra time, and I just felt like goofing off a little bit before I go home and try and be a good dad and husband, which I fail there too often than not. Let's continue to see what this young man has to say. Let's go back to the question at hand. Has he answered the question how I have conned them? Now, what he says is that they can make a CAL bar complaint against me because I said it was okay to harass him. That's based on a falsity. But is that conning someone? Like, how does it benefit me to con them? I guess his claim is, without saying it, it needs to be expressed, the point that he's trying to make. I think the point that he's trying to make is that because he feels they're in legal jeopardy, he feels that he has this solid felony criminal complaint that he personally can file, which, to me kind of makes me do this.
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
That I have conned you to get you into trouble, and I put you into this horrible, felonious situation where you're going to physical jail for the rest of your natural lives. Once again, it's a silly notion, but that's the point that I think he's making, that I've conned you. Now, for what reason? Because Ryan, I guess, has a delusion of grandeur that I live my life to have this young man located far away to cause him incredible strife and emotional strife. No, it couldn't be farther from the truth. I want the best for you, Ryan. I want good things to happen to you. I would also want you to stop harassing and threatening my friends. I would also want you to stop mentioning me because, look, Mr. Victim, King of the Victim cards, if you don't mention me or bother my friends, you will be a forgotten blip in my YouTube experience, which is clear to whatever 1.43K subscribers you have, and you get 39 views. Let me just tell you, talking about me, a small little fish in this big YouTube pond, is not getting you the views you would like. This small little fish who has like 300 subscribers here, it already has more views on this video alone than you got on this one with your over allegedly 1,000 subscribers that you had to buy. But nonetheless, they're there. Where'd they go? They got to be not watched. You're in the stream of their stuff of, well, what new videos are coming up in my subscriptions. No one wants to hear about me. It's not helping you out. But here's the reality, Mr. King of the Victim card with an alleged disability. If you mention me, if you mention somebody else, expect somebody to make a comment about it and a commentary, as I am right now. Is it that hard to think? It's not. As G-Man said, and Sam makes fun of, it's not rocket surgery. Is that better, Thick Shades? I hope so. If you're watching, we've got 14 comments before I continue. It's cool. I don't know if Thick Shades came in here. The Machiavellian power. I have serious Machiavellian powers. I control the internet here in my headquarters here. So many people listen to me. If you guys listen to me, if Ryan listened to me, we wouldn't even be talking right now. Ryan will be able to look back at these emails that he sent me. In most cases, I didn't respond to him. But I would say in almost every case where I did, I said, leave these guys. I said bad things about some of you, I'd say, probably in response. You know, basically, the sum and substance would be, don't respond. Stop. I've said that same advice to Bill in the past. I've said that, I'm sure, to Bruce. I just said, don't beat the bee's nest. But if you beat the bee's nest, then expect to get stung. Okay? And that doesn't need any Machiavellian powers on my part. I'm not telling people to do stuff. I didn't tell you, Ryan, you know firsthand. I didn't say to you, go out there and harass and bother people, make videos, do it on my behalf. I never did that, and you will not be able to show it, Ryan. I have many more video or emails from you. It's just a small little snippet. And I might reference a few others. I can't remember what they talk about. But we'll look. Let's see. Please don't out me. Well, you know there, Tommy. You and I were in the military together. Got lonely in the barracks. Sorry, I'm making Smokey's watching. I'm making him excited. Sabella, look, don't be here, Sabella. I'm talking more drama right now. He's telling Andy, Bill, Sam, and Bruce that I've conned them for my sinister. And this is, I'm making this. I can only. He believes that I have it out for him, that I think about him night and day, and I want to destroy him. Why would I want to destroy him? There's nothing to destroy. In the same way, you know, where Sam and I have a huge difference, I didn't point out the domain stuff with Sam to do anything other than point a finger back at him, because he had a habit of pointing fingers at other people. Another story for another time, right, Sam? We've already been there. Water under the bridge. But that's why I did it for you. And it wasn't that, in truth, that was more fleshly. It was more from my friends who I felt that you were attacking. That, you know, the glass houses and all that thing, all that stuff. When one part of the body suffers, they all suffer. That was convenient timing there, Janet, because that's what I felt. I suffered for brothers and sisters who were being attacked. In the same way that right now, this video isn't about other people. I mean, in a way, I guess it is. They see through your crap, but this is for me. This is for me too. But as I said earlier, it's also to really stop you, Ryan, from being a complete idiot. I'm embarrassed for you. Look at this. Cheryl's coming in. So clearly, Tommy, I was right. I didn't see it, but what did you do, Tommy? You went into the bee's nest, and what happened? What happened? Stung you in the ass, didn't it? Stung you right in the ass. What did you expect? Maybe your words, Tommy, and I say this like Tommy would, maybe your words will have some effect on the young man with the nom de plume, Smoky Saint. But I'm not holding my breath. Okay. And I'm not even going to go to that chat. I'm sure that Ryan was in that chat watching Smokey get all triggered by you and was probably fighting back and forth. And what do you think he did?
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
I hope he caught his breath before he made this latest video, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he was breathing really hard in that segment of the video. Like I said, the start of this video, minute 33, he cut it from somewhere. Maybe he was breathing too hard from the spasms. Maybe. I'm not sure. So we're going to keep going. Let's see here. It's good to see you, Sabella. I figure you cruel? No. Say it ain't so, Tommy. Nice hellos. Cheryl, I will include you on my con list. Thank you for volunteering. Well, when you call the state bar to, it's the California State Bar, to make a Cal Bar complaint, you know, let them know. No, the Righteous Gemstones, I have not on purpose because I felt like it was going to be too hateful of Christianity. You know, I'm not a fan of, you know, stuff that is for that sake to mock the religion, even though there are people that are con artists out there, like hashtag really dumb attorney, allegedly by Mr. Ryan. Still looking through. Sabella says, wouldn't it be more accurate to suggest that you got conned when you were acting lawyer for all the AMW disputes? It's more accurate than saying you are using people. No, that's kind of you to say. Now, again, I wasn't the lawyer. This is like when I talked about I'll be your attorney, or I didn't say that. Ryan said that. When I talked about and tried to correct him in this conversation about helping people who are harassed, and it was you, Ryan, who legally threatened people, and you were worrying a few. Okay, you're the one that was taking that tactic. If I was to be included in any ridiculous lawsuits you were preparing, as you said for me, which of course, you know, not to go, I won't go through the whole thing, but people are well aware of all the, you know, shenanigans. Okay, you know, so I don't have to go through that again. You're the one. That video indicates the text you gave to me that said, I'm going to need to lawyer up soon. And I wasn't the only one that you were threatening. And people got affected by it. And so what a mighty wind did is they did everything that you said I was going to do. I don't know if you say it in this new video, but it was in the GY6 video. About the lawsuit. Maybe. Let's watch a little bit more. So this is to Sam. Told you it was legal to commit hate crimes. Let me share the screen for you. Hate crimes. Told you it was legal for hate crimes. Thumb up. Everyone saw that, and he went, sue me. I'm waiting, Robbie. I can't wait. Now, see what's happening here. This is what I said earlier. Sue me. I can't wait. Hey, Ryan, if this makes you feel better, buddy, there's no pending litigation. As I've said a billion times, as I advised you before, or others. I don't know if I advised you, but there are others on here. Ryan, unless you cause harm to me, then you're not getting sued. And let's just be honest, okay? 39 views on a video that you did. When did you do it? 40 views now with me on a video that you did earlier today. Comments are turned off. It's not damaging me. And why I know it's not going to damage me is because I know that the people that know me in this community are not going to believe your lies. And I know that, like my sister here in Christ, who goes to my church, who gave me a nice message about the short I did, she knows me personally, and she would watch this video and go, what the heck is this guy talking about? And the truth is, I wouldn't even need to explain myself about it. I think we'd have a good laugh about it if she watches this video, and sadly she might, or at least her husband. So I'm not worried about Ryan the Presbyterian, notorious liar in the community, who has even lied about me, so I can testify to the lack of character and truthfulness of the witness. Personally, I'm not worried. You have 1.43 subscribers. If Sam, I got on Sam's nerves today, he can point your video to xvideo.net and get you 1,000 views maybe. But that would only be hurting you, actually, because then it would look like a major publication. Even though I know that the guys looking for xvideo.net would not be looking for X as in Christ video. All right, back. The day I see that will be the day. That'll be one of the best days of my life. I just can't wait. You see how he edited it there? I don't know why. I maybe he felt like he was rambling. My advocate can't wait, he said, but it was after a jump cut that was horrible. Wait, and whoo, hoo, 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 he says. He's like, it's that Southern style, whoo, hoo, 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 which, if I'm honest, makes me.
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
He's got his fist up to his mouth. He can't contain himself. He's about to get spastic. Oh boy, it's going to be a bad day for Rob. You should have not put yourself above your family. Oh, now we're getting into. See, I don't know if I saw this on GY6's thing. Ryan, don't bring up my family. I didn't put myself ahead of my family. So, like a mighty wind, what she did, she sent me a letter, a 10-page letter, maybe typewritten. May not have been that long, but give or take. The plus or minus on that is 3. So it was like, well, it wouldn't even be plus because it wasn't 13 pages. It was 6 to 10. So maybe it's 4. Just give me some leeway there. She said that she and her entire organization, all the kids that were in her group, were praying for my wife to leave me with my child. We're praying for my business to fold. We're praying that I would be destitute and homeless and on the street. Now, this is the same kind of attitude. Your threat, your idle threat, is that you're saying I put myself over my family, which is the indicator you somehow think, as you've said before, looking like a complete moron, that I've given you the case of the century. I don't know, Bill Cosby and all of the people he was roofing, O.J. Simpson, murder, I don't know, the people that stormed the Capitol building, Dr. Fauci, we want to arrest him, right, for whatever he did. What they've done, and I'm kidding regarding Dr. Fauci, if you're watching and don't know me that well, what I've done pales in comparison. Benedict Arnold didn't have it as bad as I do with the case of the century. Oh, Ryan, can't you see what a...
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
Can't you see what a laugh riot you are? Do you really, really think, like, Are you under such a delusion of grandeur that you really think all this is true? That you really think like these threats that you can't possibly, you sound too smart when you talk about Bible stuff, even when I disagree with you. You can't possibly be this stupid. It's just impossible, I think, isn't it? Looking at you, looking at everyone watching, is it possible? Now, hashtag I am
Worst Christian ever.
There's no doubt. You've clearly established that. But Ryan, your claims are just stupid. Let's keep going with your finger up. There we go. And now you're going to have to learn. Go ahead and sue me. Now, here's the interesting thing, too. He's showing his cowardice because now we know clearly that, that this ain't happening. So somehow his disability advocates, I say plural, I think it might be one, and I'm not even sure that's the truth. Because there's no way they watch this video and go, what are we doing? Why are we siding with this complete moron? It's going to hurt our reputations. But he switched around, and I guess he feels that he's going to get me in his counterclaim of my lawsuit that doesn't exist and won't exist unless he somehow gains popularity. But let's be honest. The notion that Ryan is going to gain popularity on YouTube.
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
Sabella can tell you, when I get on a roll of something, I abuse it. It's just not funny anymore. It is, sorry. To me, that is still funny. All right, let's finish it up. We got 9 seconds. There's no way you're getting out of this one. Well, I am getting out of it, right? Because when I sue you, you said that I can't get out of it. And perhaps your response, you're thinking with this will be, yes, this video did the thing that I wanted to do. I scared Rob, so now he's not going to sue me. My video was successful. Hashtag really dumb attorney. And if that makes you feel better, Ryan, then okay. Oh, and by the way, there's the last thing. And I'm not going to be here too long. Here it is. Since you played my copyrighted video, he said. This is what I saw on GY6's thing. So I think you did play the whole thing. I just forgot that one part. We could talk. I'm playing the whole copyrighted video right now because this is about as fair use as you possibly could get. And I'm actually, he can't dub my words over his because I have a copyright in my the words that I copied in the sound recording. But we want to see what he was making a copyright claim over, and we're gonna, at the risk of this video being flagged, I guess I have no choice. Well, I'm not even going to give him the benefit of the day because it's not. People know the video that he's alleging that I copyrighted was 2 frames of text. So he's trying to claim copyright in 2 frames of text, but it was done over the span of I think a minute. And I played maybe most of it, but I addressed, again with fair use, I actually read out the words. Is he alleging that he has copyrights in his sentences that he said that were addressed to me and were to prove something similar to how I allegedly conned somebody, and he didn't answer the question? This time he didn't answer the question, but we can derive an implication of what he meant to say. In the first video, he didn't even address the how of whatever he was accusing me of. So your notion of copyright infringement is so woefully bad. It will be interesting. I guess I can make a whole new video series called Waiting on the Copyright Strike. As of right now, I believe that video is still up, and it should remain. And if by some reason, because a lot of this is automated, YouTube flags it and gives me notice that it's been struck, which would be by a DMCA, I will counter the DMCA and then dare Ryan, in that case, because the only way you can counter the counter is to file suit. And then the fun would begin, Ryan, and you would have to instigate. So we'll see what happens in that regard. But let's finish out what he said. Final 3 seconds. I hope you like the copyright strike. Let me you need to see his loving face when he says that. So we're gonna pop it on there. He leans in. Gonna have to learn. Go ahead and sue me. There's no way you're getting out of this one, Rob. Oh, and by the way, since you played my copyright video, I hope you like the copyright strike. Oh, sorry. Again, it started by the way. It just restarted. So, what a sad state of affairs for our friend Ryan. Let's see what the people in the peanut gallery are thinking. Well, she did add there, even though, yeah, I again, going back to the AMW thing, I ended up helping people because I had helped myself. And I just freely made available the response that I made to the subpoena that a Mighty Wind's very awful advocate, maybe the same one that Ryan has hired, because, well, no, I would say no, because the one that Ryan is dealing with, based on what he said, and especially if it's more than one, maybe it's an entire firm, they are ridiculously stupid. I don't know who it is, but I only say that if they're the ones who are giving this information to this young man, wow, they have the information that he's gotten has allowed him to feel comfortable in encouraging people on YouTube to commit a misdemeanor in California. And that's the truth. I think it's 6043.5 in the California Business Professions Code. Making a false state bar complaint is a misdemeanor. That's just flat out. I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not bloviating. I'm actually pointing to a statute. I'm telling you that you're encouraging people to commit a crime. A misdemeanor is a crime, right? So, you know, it's like what you're accusing me of, it's what you're doing. Oh, that's funny, Donald. I guess you mean Smokey Saint. There's a little Nazi reference for you. All right. I don't know who this is, but good night to you. God bless. Came for the music. Oh, see, you see what's happened, but I think this is somebody who knows me and just wants to say that because they heard what I said. But I'm really glad that you do come here for the music. Better wait to check up. Like I said earlier, this is just a drama-filled thing. This is what brings all the boys to the yard. My milkshake, apparently, is drama. Because when I put up a video of worship music, 40 of you watch it. And I appreciate that. And in the end, the most important thing for us and for this channel is God himself, is our creator, is the one who's given us all these things, has given us the minds to be able to do these things and have fun this way. But I would, you know, my prayer to God is that if this is causing Ryan to stumble or to, let's say, lose sleep, I don't want that to happen. My internet collapse, everything break, that the conviction will be put upon me harder to not participate in the drama, but it's fun sometimes, you know, the flesh. Tommy, you and me, man. Next thing, you're going to find me in a Smokey Saint chat again. Don wants to be conned. Well, stick around. Stick around, Don. We got the same last name. We'll work that out. hopefully Ryan, when he makes the state bar complaint he's been threatening me with for months, won't put Donald Reed, will put Robert Reed in the complaint. Watch out for the misdemeanor, bud, though. What can I tell you? Look at me, my hair. I'm not going to pay attention to how I look here. All right. Yeah, here we go. This was certainly talking about the claim, you know, for me filing a lawsuit against you, Ryan. As your advocate should inform you, if you're worried about it, you can't get a blood out of a turnip or nor a potato. You might be awarded his Android phone. And I suspect it's like a Galaxy 1 or something. I don't know. All right. Too much joy for a Christian planning revenge. That's probably referencing me with the joy that I felt that I was bringing him. That's Ryan. Who is his advocate? Yeah. Again, I think the idea that I had was it's that Paul guy. The dude saved us. You know, I don't know. He's the only one that has. There are two people online right now, since Andy and Bill are on good terms with me, and Sam mostly too. I think I'm definitely out of Sam's crosshairs. So the only two people that actively have an issue with me that I know of on here are, well, there might be three, but I'm thinking Paul primarily because he has the longest time. And I'm not sure why that is. I think it started with evolution or something like that. But anyway, I digress. And Ryan, Paul and Ryan, and then I think Praise I Am, because I mentioned him a couple times. He might have some issues too. Not sure. But so there's three potentially. Those are the only ones that I would imagine would be advocating for him, and only because I know that, or I don't know for sure, but I suspect that none of those three, and Smokey Saint, I guess, included in there, but none of those four are actual practicing attorneys. So they're all wannabe attorneys giving him background advice, legal advice apparently, and it is horrifically bad. So is it the same person representing Gary is the question? I would say so. Yeah, did you like that, Bruce? He was wagging his finger at me. Oh, Bede. We got a new person. I'm so sorry. Thank you, folks, for being nice to Bede. I'm glad that you're here for the music. YouTube has been kind to me lately. I think they've been featuring me in some areas, and that has been nice, and that's brought more people to my channel. Again, this is a drama video. Sorry, but it's about a guy, and this guy accuses me of harassing him, and here's a horrible thing. If you, and this is free legal advice. I wish I had a little, and I got to make some clips from my streams. One will be like, I used to have free legal advice, and this is the free legal advice to Ryan. If you're going to allege that somebody's harassing you, making a video about you, and it's so bad, it rises to the level of criminality. You need to cry in the video that you're making to show how damaged you are, and not this.
It's so funny. I'm spastic.
I mean, if my alleged harassment to you makes you laugh and makes you spastic because you're laughing so hard, your damage claim is, how do you say in Spanish? Cero, with a Z, 0, right? Your damage claim is 0, Ryan. A little free legal advice for you. But welcome, Bede. I think that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, well, Elizabeth actually said I had given her a blessing. I had actually done something nice. If you remember that story, Pastor George, we were looking to bless different people. And Pastor George, I think he was a little hesitant that I did this, but I did it anyway. I donated $100, sent $100 to a Mighty Wind through their PayPal. and she had somebody send money back to me in a payment of a money order, and it actually was for 1 penny less than I gave her. So I can still say that I donated a cent to A Mighty Wind. And it was with that huge letter. And the letter indicated regarding the money that I should stick it where the sun doesn't shine. And that is a direct quote. And that definitely made me.
This is so funny. I'm spastic.
Yeah. So Sabella says, you have so much faith, Rob, in people not to be stupid. I do. Well, I mean, there's sometimes where there is stupid, and I can be stupid. I've been stupid. I've said I'm stupid for making this video. Hashtag really dumb attorney. Let's be honest, right? Spending this time. I said I wouldn't give you that long. It's almost an hour and a half. I can't open the chat if you're expecting that, but I hope you stick around just a little bit longer. Hashtag stupid attorney for doing this. But there is like stupid like that. And then there's stupid, right? And Ryan, my friend, my brother, I will call you, my lost brother, you are stupid. Or to be nicer, you are being stupid. And my prayer for you, yeah, that's funny as I said that. Janet said that ages ago. My prayer for you is to wisen up. And that'll come with age, hopefully, and good examples, not Smokey Saint. Thankfully, I don't know what you're talking about. Might be the same troll representing Gary. I don't think so. I mean, like I said, if it is, and it's going to be the Paul guy. Cheryl says, becoming bad SNL. You're right. See, I beat stuff with a dead horse. Cheryl, you're the one that said that to me before. I remember I made some joke. So you know, Cheryl's the one that can testify to that. If anybody should make a Calbar complaint about anything, it's the fact that I overuse bad jokes. That one will probably not rise to the level of misdemeanor. Sabella says, I wasn't going to sue him anyways because why? I didn't get there. Because he has no money, right? For one. But for two, the point I was making regarding damages and the number of people who watched, that was why I was going that direction. Sorry, it's like ADHD squirrel. In order, like, I have a rock solid defamation case against Ryan. It is as good as it gets. But much like an auto accident, you can have a rock solid car accident case. Hashtag really dumb attorney, hashtag ambulance chaser. Okay, so I can tell you, I've been hashtag that. And it's truth. But if somebody hits you from on your car from behind, rear ends you, it's a clear liability case. You win. If they ding it and you don't even get any damage to your car and you don't get hurt, you can take your case to court. But you don't, then they write you a check for $1, and it costs you like $500 to file and serve a complaint. California. So what are you going to do with $1? You're minus $499 just because you got involved with the thing in the first place, let alone the time and energy you spent. So it makes no sense is the point. And so I can sue Ryan, but if he hasn't damaged me in his defamation, what's the point? Sometimes principle. And like I said, if I felt that he was harming me and I needed to stop it, then I would have him, as he says, lawyer up. But there's no indicator that that's going to change anytime soon. And my recommendation to him would be to stop anyway. The Potato Archive says, I want him to copyright strike me. I've been asking him to do it for months now. I'll counterclaim and he will have to provide all the details. Well, that's interesting, but it also happens to be true. Or he could go to counterdmca.com, which of course is my website, and he could use my information, but he'd have to give me his as well. I think here's the truth. I have Ryan's information. In fact, I think I sent Ryan CDs, but I'm not going to go out of my way to drop those docs. I'm not going to go out of my way to send emails in the back and say, hey, here's his address or the last known address, right? No. Unless, of course, somebody was being threatened to be sued and I wanted to make sure they knew how to get to him easily with a countersuit. Yes, Janet says, talking about suing. All this suing. Suey is how you call pigs. Some questions aren't posed for answers, said Tommy. Good night. God bless, Dawn. Sorry I didn't get to say good night earlier because you sent that 13 minutes ago. We know them vermin. Was that a Jewish reference? I'm not sure. Or is that us? Oh, yeah. Smokey Saint calls us all vermin, I think, doesn't he? Subhuman garbage, which is exactly what Jesus said. When you call somebody a, what was it? Whitewashed tombs, vipers, snakes. You are attacking people's character in some way, but and when you call them vermin, maybe you could say that, well, Jesus did it, and therefore I feel comfortable doing it. But calling somebody subhuman trash, even Jesus didn't do that. I shouldn't say even Jesus. Jesus, of course, would never do that because he sees beauty in his creation. When you call a human subhuman, you are being, as far as I could tell, bordering on blasphemy. But hey, you're Smokey Saint. No, because they probably had a legit person doing there. Sounds like Ryan is using the same troll. All right, we're back there. I don't care. Maybe Ryan needs to take some time offline. Yeah, I would think so. It would certainly help him to not look so stupid. Bond. Ryan is possibly the greatest lawyer on earth that isn't actively practicing law. It's a high probability. No. If he was a lawyer, he would be far worse than that lawyer that A Mighty Wind used. Far worse. And that says quite a bit. Sabella says to Bond, not a Ryan fan? Are there any? I don't know. He continues to dig a hole. I want to be a fan of Ryan. I was a fan of Ryan at some point in time where I thought that I was helping him. And how do you not, when you get love bombed and say that, you know, you're the father I wish I had, that was quite a nice thing to say. Maybe we can get back there one day, Ryan. I don't want to be your dad, but I'd like to be someone that could help you, guide you on the right path. And even Sabella's had issues with me in the past. She says she loved you anyway. Bond, of course, as we're heading closer. How about them Rams? That's a good way to close. Yeah. How about them Rams? Pretty awesome. Like I said earlier, I'm in the lottery that will happen, I think, around February 3rd to get tickets to the Super Bowl. I have 2 bites of that apple. Boo to Cheryl. I don't know if you're a Kansas City fan or maybe you're Cincinnati, but it's basically a home game for the Rams, and you're not going to have 49er fans that are going to pay money to be there, and it's going to be a pretty amazing crowd in favor of the Rams. I can't imagine otherwise. So it'll be real fun to go. The issue for me, if I get tickets, will only be, I mean, I can make scads and scads of dough on these tickets that would pay for my season tickets this year, season tickets next year, season tickets probably for the next 5. Do I go? My wife went with us to the division championship because she enjoys football too, and I wanted her to do that. And we had 1 ticket that we couldn't sell. Maybe I could have if I put it down low enough, but we invited one of my son's friends who was a 49er fan. He was very sad walking home and tried to cheer him up, but couldn't do it. So we'll leave it at that. I think that's a good response. Does anyone have any questions in the peanut gallery as we go? And if you do have questions before I go, and I'll leave in a couple minutes after I'll play this little video of Candace Owens. It's short, and I'll have to get more. I'm going to make more of these, make it kind of more entertaining for you, the watcher. But if you have any questions, you can tweet me, of course, but not now, but later on, Robert Reed, at Robert Reed. You could reply down here, and or you can ask me right now. Anything. And while we're waiting, if no one has any questions, I'll just wish you guys a bid you an adieu and a God bless. But for now, let's watch the hypocrisy of Candace Owens.
There's a lot of grievance out there that's kind of unprovable, the underlying allegations.
Right. You know, in many ways, she is a victim of the culture. And I've said this over and over again ad nauseum, which is just that victimhood has become almost a mental plague upon Black America in particular, because that word racism is being so overused that society is becoming desensitized to it. And we actually can't even recognize it when it actually exists. We think everything is racist.
So have COVID. I don't know where to catch this thing. Maybe COVID's racist. Maybe Susanna's racist. I don't freaking know. I don't know. The last time a white Democrat refused a Black person serve with his head is because I don't like your thoughts and ideas. We were in the Jim Crow era.
She said at the beginning of that, she said, victim card is a mental plague in the Black community. I would say it's also a mental plague in the mind of Ryan. That's a good way for us to end the subject of Ryan. I think there's been enough time to pick any questions here, and we can start. What would Smokey do? It's always important to think about. Question asked here by my brother, St. Tommy. Am I in love with you, Rob? Not in a Eros way, but an agape way. And I would say ditto, sir. Sir, agape love, the kind of love where I want to seek what is best. I want great things to happen to Tommy and everyone that's associated with him, his family and all that good stuff. I don't wish, as Ryan wishes on me, to destroy your family. Okay. I think that's a Christian thing to do. Ryan, hopefully you'll learn. Bond says his money's on the Bengals. Last I checked, the spread is 3.5. Rams are favored. I think that's a really good bet. I think that, although, you know, you can take it with a grain of salt, I thought that the Rams are going to win by 13. In truth, the offense was so good that they should have won by 13, but because the crowd was 60+% San Francisco 49er fan, I think that really kept them in the game. They talk about the 12th man in sports, which is the fans, and man, it was frustrating being a Rams fan there in your own house and watching everyone louder than you guys. And that's why if you hear like something in my voice, I pretty much lost my voice. So I don't see any questions other than if Tommy's in love with me. Another 60s song. Phileo. There we go. Thank you. See, Bruce is one of my friends here who likes to pretend that he doesn't know a lot. And humility will take you far. So if you can't, Ryan, find any value in anything that I'm trying to help you with, Reverend Dr. Bruce, let me introduce you. And when you reference him, please call him Reverend and Doctor. That's good. God bless you all. I thank you for watching. We'll have some more chats, I imagine, later in worship nights. We talked about this. I told you, as a glutton for punishment, I will be coaching a Little League team, so I'm going to have fewer days. John's here, wants to know the price of tea in China. I have no idea, but I can tell you this. This was from World Market and probably equates to about 15 cents a bag. And that's the best I got. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, John, for dropping in. Don't watch any of this, John. It's all more drama. You came in here late. Hello. I wish you God's blessings, and that's good enough. I think we should just stay there. And we're going to be doing stuff, but like I said, I got Little League happening. Fewer nights are going to be available. I will be on the playing field, but trying to come in and do some of these fun things. Ryan, don't give me more material. Please, Ryan, don't give me more material. Please, I'm begging you. God bless you. Take it easy.